Making the Hunter watch even more enticing is the fact that close to a dozen teams have a realistic shot at winning the sweepstakes.
Travis Hunter coming in at number 1 on Ryan Wilson's draft board.
Among the teams with a semi-realistic chance of landing him, here are the 5 best destinations for Travis Hunter in the NFL and the 5 worst. Best, New England Patriots. New England is not the hotspot for star players that it was during the Brady-Bill Belichick era. But you gotta restart somewhere, and the Patriots really do make sense as a landing spot for Colorado's two-way superstar. The Patriots haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2019, when Julian Edelman hit the feet with a TB12 as his QB. Drake May has shown immense potential since taking over as New England's starting quarterback, despite having the league's worst set of pass catchers at his disposal. So, May already looks like a budding star. But how much greater do you think he could be with an all-world wide receiver like Travis Hunter as his number 1 weapon? Suddenly, an offense with May, Hunter, Ramondre Stevenson, and Hunter Henry really looks promising. And if Hunter is assigned a defense, geez, just imagine him joining forces with 2023 first-round pick Christian Gonzalez, who's on his way to entering the conversation for the NFL's best cornerback. Worst, Carolina Panthers. In the David Tepper ownership era, the Panthers have basically become the Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. You know, that is basically just a graveyard for ultra-highly touted prospects that were supposed to amount to something special. Also, just look at how much former Panthers stars Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Brian Burns flourished after leaving Carolina. Now try telling us that they're a good landing spot for the two-way sensation. The Panthers will be moving on from Bryce Young after 2 miserable seasons. Great. But then what's the option at QB? Carolina ends up winning the Hunter sweepstakes. Do you really think his potential will be maximized with Andy Dalton or another veteran bridge QB? That's if you focus on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, the only game-changing star that they have is J.C. Horn, and unfortunately, this star cornerback has not been able to stay healthy at all. It just feels like a lose-lose situation for Hunter if he lands in Carolina. We'd like the Panthers as a landing spot if they had an adequate quarterback option in place, but that is much easier said than done. So please join us in crossing our fingers and hoping that this generational talent does not land with football's most dysfunctional organization. Best, Dallas Cowboys. We know the odds of Dallas getting Travis Hunter isn't that great. I mean, they're not bad enough to finish with a top 5 pick after all. But what if Jerry Jones sold his farm, an arm, and a leg as well to trade up and select Hunter? What if another team couldn't refuse his offer to move up? Hey, I'm just saying, crazier things have certainly happened in the NFL. Even if you hate the Cowboys, there is no denying that America's team is probably the perfect landing spot for Hunter. From a marketing standpoint, the story just kind of writes itself. Deion Sanders played for Jerry Jones' squad from 1995 to 1999, winning a Super Bowl title in his first season with the franchise. Surely, Sanders and Jones would be more than happy to further promote Travis Hunter's name, image, and popularity on the field. Together, those two could help Hunter become the co-face of the NFL along with Patrick Mahomes. And if you want to focus purely on the football fit, well, Hunter and CeeDee Lamb would give Dak Prescott the best wide receiver duo in the entire league. Or, you know, Hunter could form a 3-headed all-pro quarterback tandem with star corners Trayvon Diggs and Teron Bland. Hunter probably makes better sense as a receiver in Dallas, and we also know that the odds of him coming here aren't that high. But still, the Cowboys are one of the best possible spots for a player with his skill set. Worst, Las Vegas Raiders. Coming into the 2024 season, we were convinced that the Raiders were a quarterback away from emerging as a playoff team again in the AFC. But oh boy, were we wrong. The QB room is only one of the many issues. The offensive line needs a makeover, the ground game needs someone like, I don't know, dare we say Josh Jacobs, and that offense needs another explosive playmaker after trading Devontae Adams to the New York Jets. The entire defense is a mess, even with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. And a more experienced and qualified head coach, you know, someone other than Antonio Pierce, would probably be a good idea at this point. But hey, other than that, I don't think we can think of any cons for Travis Hunter coming to Sin City. Does he want to be their only good defensive back? Does he want to suffer the same fate as Adams and get frustrated by having a bottom-tier quarterback throwing him the football? Does Hunter to Vegas have nightmare fuel written all over it? Best, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have been one of the biggest disappointments in football this season. But hey, all it takes is one generational talent like Hunter to change absolutely everything. The Jags' struggles are surprising given the amount of talent on both sides of the ball. On offense, they have Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr., Evan Ingram, Tank Bigsby, and Travis Etienne Jr. And that defense is led by the young pass-rushing duo of Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker, and of course, stud corner Tyson Campbell. Maybe maybe, just maybe, it just needs one more 5-star game changer like Hunter to bring all the pieces together. If Hunter joined Jacksonville's offense, he and Thomas Jr. would instantly become a top 5 receiving tandem. And surely Trevor Lawrence wouldn't be able to waste that much potential, right? With guys like Etienne and Kirk as secondary weapons? If the Jaguars wanted to use Hunter on defense, well, hey, you wouldn't find a much better defensive back trio than him, Campbell, and safety Andre Cisco. So regardless of which side of the ball Jacksonville would use him on, Hunter would be in an excellent position to flourish in Duval County. Worst, Tennessee Titans. The Titans' long-term outlook might be darker than any other in football right now. They waited way too long to rebuild, watching Derrick Henry leave for nothing and settling on a mid-round pick for wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. $92 million man Calvin Ridley has been a bust at wide receiver and probably regrets signing here in the first place. Will Levis just isn't it at quarterback, and the Titans will likely end up drafting his replacement in round 1. The only logical explanation for Tennessee not taking a QB in round 1 would be if they took another prospect like Travis Hunter. But I mean, then what? Who's throwing the ball to Hunter? Better not be the current guy under center. Levis never really formed chemistry with Hopkins, and he's wasting the talent of a 2-time 1,000-yard receiver like Ridley. He never got it going with 2022 first-round pick Traylon Burks either, so we don't really trust him to maximize the talents of Hunter. The Titans have had a fun little mini run with Ryan Tannehill behind center, but they've mostly been mired in mediocrity over the last 15 years. The last thing that we want for Travis Hunter is to have his talents wasted on a constantly rebuilding team without the necessary pieces to properly build around him. Best, Arizona Cardinals. After being stuck in no man's land for a few years, the Cardinals are finally on the right track here under head coach Jonathan Gannon. A healthy Kyler Murray provides the stability that they need at quarterback. Rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. has the potential to soon be a top 5 receiver in this league. And tight end Trey McBride is inching closer to all-pro territory. It just feels like the Cardinals need a couple of more superstar-level players to finally emerge as a true contender in this very difficult NFC. That includes one more dynamic offensive weapon and a pure shutdown cornerback. Or, I don't know, a can't-miss prospect like Travis Hunter. All-pro safety Budda Baker is a pending free agent and unlikely to re-sign in Arizona. Hunter could fill their need for a game-changing defensive back. Remember when they had an in-his-prime Patrick Peterson some years ago? But right now, we're sort of obsessed with the possibility of Hunter, Harrison Jr., and McBride forming an unstoppable receiver trio for Murray. Murray's dual-threat style and ability to extend plays would go hand-in-hand with Hunter's home run speed and knack for stretching the field. It just feels like way too good of a fit to not have happen. Worst, New York Giants. The Giants are still in complete disarray. They are more than a Travis Hunter away from returning to relevance in the NFC, and yeah, I think it starts with getting a new quarterback. Fortunately for the Giants, they can get out of Daniel Jones' contract after this season with minimal financial ramifications. And with the G-Men sure to finish with a top 7 pick, they're a safe bet to land one of the top quarterbacks in the 2025 draft. The Giants' other option would be to find a bridge QB and use their first-round pick on another position. Yeah, that's not out of the question if they feel good about their chances of snagging Travis Hunter, but either way, this is not the place for Hunter to start his professional career. The Giants have been a complete train wreck since their Super Bowl 46 championship-winning season, just cycling through GMs and head coaches and wasted draft picks like there's no tomorrow. We don't want to see Hunter land on a Giants team without a, well, suitable QB option. And with constant dysfunction and with potentially a rookie head coach and a GM, this is just not an ideal landing spot for him. Best? New York Jets. Now, if there was a New York team to land Travis Hunter, it would hopefully be the Jets. Now, okay, we know what you're gonna say. The Jets are just as dysfunctional as the Giants. The whole Aaron Rodgers headache, the firing of Robert Saleh after the Week 5 loss in London. That sound about right? All right, please. Just hear us out on this one. The Jets could really use Travis Hunter as a wide receiver and form a dream team on offense with Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, and Allen Lazard. Adams and Lazard are getting up there in age, so we wouldn't call it an unnecessary overload of wide receivers here. Oh, but what about defense? Sauce Gardner is only the best cornerback in the league. What if Hunter joins forces with him there? In terms of their current roster makeup, the Jets are an ideal landing spot for Hunter on both sides of the ball. And just maybe, it's Hunter Hunter's services that helped Rodgers' squad reach Super Bowl contender status in 2025. Worst? Cleveland Browns. Just no. Please no. The Browns are a disaster from top to bottom. Deshaun Watson has the worst contract in football, and the Browns are stuck with him for at least another year. They traded their top wide receiver Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills. Pro Bowl running back Nick Chubb is a pending free agent. The offensive line is a complete mess. Seriously, there is just nothing about the Browns that leave reason for long-term optimism. Watson was unwatchable before his season-ending Achilles tear. Please do not let him get first dibs on throwing to Hunter in the NFL. But which NFL team do you think Travis Hunter will land with? Where would you like to see him go? What team would you like to see him avoid? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then hey, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.